And we're back for our daily MLB Best Bets here for game number 3 of the American League Championship Series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Seattle Mariners. Toronto finds themselves in the same position the Brewers will tomorrow night, but down 2-0 and going on the road for 3 consecutive games in Seattle, meaning the Blue Jays need to win 2 of 3 here in Seattle to at least see Toronto once more in this postseason. Again, we will get into our 3 best bets for game number 3 of the American League Championship Series. Tomorrow we will have 4 best bets with both the ALCS and NLCS going, with potentially maybe a chance for the Mariners to close out the American League tomorrow. Again, folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB best bets here on the channel. At the end of the video, I'll talk about the Dodgers and Brewers a little bit. Also on the channel, make sure to go check out our college football predictions, 4.5 hours long of college football week 8 predictions. You're not going to want to miss that. Also, yesterday we posted our NFL Week 7 predictions. Again, both are on the channel. And on Greedo Plays MMA this week, our UFC Fight Night Vancouver predictions. Brendan Allen takes on Rainer DeRitter. Also later today on Greedo Plays MMA, our PFL Africa 3 Rwanda full card predictions. Don't miss that video as well. Okay, on to the first of our 3 best bets here. We're going to kick things off with our best player prop. We're going to a player prop that we have not done all year long, but here it is. I'm going with the under 14.5 outs for Shane Bieber. Yep, haven't done this yet this season. I'm looking at the strikeout lines, don't like it. I'm not going to rely on any bats right now in this series, at least not one in particular. Like, as much as I want to go Cal Raleigh over 1.5 bags, can't do it. We've done the Vladimir Guerrero thing in multiple games now. It hasn't gone our way. I'm going to look to this instead, and I don't want to put all my eggs in the my goodness, in the Nathan Lucas basket. I'm not doing that, okay? We're going to go Shane Bieber under total outs. So, again, 14.5 outs. Essentially, he needs to go under 5 innings. We cannot have him finish the 5th inning. I don't think he's going to. Guys, this goes beyond just what have the Mariners done against opposing pitchers so far in this series. This goes beyond, what can the Mariners do offensively in this game. No, this is about the season being on the line tonight. Completely on the line for for Toronto. Now, Kevin Gausman pitched 17 outs. Trey Yesavage pitched 12. Yesavage, kind of locked in after his first inning. But obviously then, Mariners put guys on. Polanco hits the home run in the 5th inning. 2 of those runs get charged to Trey Yesavage. Obviously, Yesavage is not the one giving up the actual home run to Jorge Polanco. But you do look at Yesavage's start. He only gets 12 outs. Again, we need Shane Bieber to not finish that 5th inning. I think it's very doable, considering, again, this is beyond just, let's compare how Yesavage did. Let's compare how Kevin Gausman pitched in game number 1. This is desperation mode for the Toronto Blue Jays. And you might be thinking, well, you certainly don't want to lose this game, but even if you do, okay, well, you're not out of it yet. Well, multiple reasons. You lose, you're done. Not many just the 2004 Red Sox have come back from down 3-0 in baseball. It's not happening, okay? I hate to break it to you. The Blue Jays will not be the team that wins 4 straight games and, gets in the World Series. It's not going to happen. This is an absolute must-win for the Toronto Blue Jays. And again, I will tell you my money line pick and, full game prediction in a second. But this goes beyond that to the point of you're pitching Max Scherzer tomorrow. And I hate to be talking about Scherzer in this light, about how, Scherzer, automatic L. Unfortunately, guys, it's the truth. It's insane to me that 41-year-old Max Scherzer tomorrow will head to the bump in Seattle in a potential elimination game for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's 41. He had an above 5 ERA this season. Again, I love Max. A Max Scherzer jersey's hanging right there. My childhood would not be the same if it wasn't for Max Scherzer. But he's 41, and that's your starting pitcher tomorrow. They've already announced that. Max Scherzer's going game 4 tomorrow. So if you're Toronto tonight, I don't care, again, Bieber or whatnot. Again, you need Bieber to pitch well, but you are absolutely pressing tonight. It is, you have to treat this game like an elimination game. Because, guys, tomorrow kind of is an elim game. Because here's the thing about Toronto, right? And I'm not going to give away who I think is going to win the game or not, right? And I will tell you if this is going to go well for, in my opinion, if this strategy that I believe the Blue Jays are going to take on in game number 3 is going to go well for them at the end of the video with their final pick or final best bet. But You have to approach this game like it's an elimination game. Because, okay, you gotta do whatever it takes to win this game. All right, you're kind of looking at game 4 like you're gonna lose it. You're throwing Scherzer, okay? You're kind of looking at that game like you're gonna lose it, but coming back down from 3-1, it sucks, but I'd rather be in that spot than looking at yourself down 3-0 with Unk going to the bump in game number 4, who I absolutely love, and I would love Scherzer to win a 3rd World Series. But I just got to be a realist about how things are going to go for Toronto. Now, again, there is the mindset, Blue Jays, the bat's got to pop up eventually. Again, I will get to that in a little bit. I just think they're going to pull Bieber really quickly. I think he has to have the shortest leash tonight. Everyone is available in this bullpen, in this rotation. Literally every pitcher is available except for Gausman and Yasavage. Everybody can go. And I guarantee you the same thing is going to be the case tomorrow at Scherzer. But I'm telling you, if the Blue Jays can just get this game, you're not throwing game 4, but you're not as pressed anymore in game 4. Like, obviously, you want to tie the series. But worst case, you're down 3-1, and now you're set up because now you get Gausman, Yasavage, and then you throw everything at game number 7, if you can get there, which is obviously, I don't know, right? But this is the problem I've always had with Toronto. It's their pitching. We thought Yasavage was their best guy. Is he? I don't know. Kevin Gausman is their so-called ace. I had my doubts. I had my worries about Gausman being a front-end guy. Shane Bieber, 1 start in the postseason. Ooh. The 1 game Toronto loses against the Yankees, New York completely gets after him. Shane Bieber gets 8 outs, 5 hits, 3 runs, and a walk. He throws 54 pitches before he gets pulled. I know in the regular season, Bieber was going deep into games. He was pitching fairly well in the regular season. I mean, really, with the exception of maybe 2 starts. He had a bad start against the Reds in Cincinnati, and then a bad start against the Houston Astros, both by the great English. Both, by the way, the Toronto Blue Jays ended up winning, but this is postseason baseball, and it's just different. And I look at the Mariners. I know Marine Layer is a thing. I get it. They hit way better on the road than they do at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. But I just think Bieber gets chased out this game pretty quickly. I mean, it's to the point where his leash is going to be so short, he gives up 2 runs, he puts a couple guys on, and I don't know, let's just say matchup-wise, let's say second time around the order, Bieber's cruising, but then here we go, he puts on he puts on J-Rod, he puts on Polanco, he's got first and second, 1 out, Josh Naylor, scramble time, we're going to throw in a lefty because we don't want Bieber to see this. I'm telling you, the Blue Jays are going to have to play this game extremely aggressive because of what's coming next. This is a must-win for them. Undoubtedly, this is a must-win because of what's happening tomorrow. I'm talking like Scherzer, like he's, just the worst thing ever. I love Max, but just look at how that game, I think, is going to go. I'm telling you, tomorrow, the Blue Jays will be like plus 180 underdogs, regardless if they win or not tonight. And that's what's going to be stacked up against them because of Scherzer going and the way Scherzer's pitched recently. Again, our first best bet, under 14.5 outs for Shane Bieber in Seattle. Next up, we go to the over-under. I'm taking the under 7 runs. I know, again, this doesn't completely work with what I just said. Hear me out now. Again, Bieber can give up legitimately no runs and be in a spot where it's first and second, and they can pull him. That's the way I see this game being scripted out. I mean, I know that's a football, obviously, term, but I think the game script for this game shows us that Bieber's not going to pitch much. He's going to pitch until he gets into a bad spot, and the Blue Jays are going to be quick on the trigger to get him out of the game. Just because, again, you cannot fall down 3-0 with Scherzer going game 4. Okay, and we will get, again, final best bet of the video will be my money line prediction. I think the under 7 runs will hit. Every game we've seen the Mariners play so far in this postseason in Seattle, we have seen very low-scoring games. It's just, that's how the Mariners play, right? They play very well on the road. In Seattle, games are not high-scoring. The 2 games that were played in Seattle against the Detroit Tigers in the ALDS, 3-2 and 3-2, right? Mariners lost game 1 in extra innings in the 11th, and the Mariners won game 2 against Detroit 3-2. So again, same exact score in both games, and I'm not going to put too much into the 2 Toronto games of this series because they're played in Toronto. Big difference, man. It's a lot easier to hit balls out in Toronto than it is Seattle. Again, just that marine layer, it holds balls in the park. But if you want to look at it at all, Game 1, 3-1 final, of course, in favor of the Mariners in Toronto. Game 2, the shootout. Not really. It was just a beatdown by the Mariners, 10-3 final. Okay. I think under 7's fine here. I think it is. Guys, again, I think we're going to see Bieber put in a spot early. Maybe gives up 1 run, and then, okay, here come the Mariners threatening. He gets pulled. I think the final score of this game, again, I think we see probably 6 or 5 runs. This is going to be a struggle for both teams to score. And I haven't even gotten now to the starting pitcher of the Seattle Mariners. So, worst case, for at least our under, I'm not talking about one particular side and team-wise now at this point. Worst case for our under here, worst case, Bieber gets shelled a little bit. Blue Jays, the Mariners put it on them. They actually, they go through the marine layer. They actually break through. George Kirby's pitching for the Mariners. And I have said so many times throughout the course of the series, and we took Toronto in Game 2. My big point with taking Toronto in Game 2 was I just don't see the bats being that bad again. It would be shocking to me if the bats don't show up 2 games in a row. Like, this was the best team in the American League this season, right? They were the number 1 seed for a reason. They just beat the New York Yankees. They have to show up. I'm sick of saying that. I'm not going to say anymore, oh, we need their bats to show up. It is, it's not a matter of if it, or a matter of when it is. No, it's not. I screwed that entire expression up. It's not a matter of if, it is when the bats for Toronto will show up. I'm done doing that. I'm completely done relying on what Toronto has offensively. Because, guys, I hate to say this, I think we were maybe sold a bag of false goods in the last series, and the Yankees just weren't that good. I don't know. Because, that's what we have to look at here. And I get it, it's only 2 games, and this is a huge game in the series. It's, yes, Game 4 is huge, but you approach a Game 4 so much differently, down 2-1 than down 3-0. Down 2-1, regardless of your outcome in Game 4, you still feel like you have a chance. Down 3-0, you feel it's over. Even if you somehow win Game 4, it's like, all right, well, we got to win 3 more of these. So in a situation like that, situation like this, when you're down 2-0, this is the biggest game. I just don't rely. I can't rely on these bats at all. I can't, especially against George Kirby, which he pitched an elimination game. He was matched up. It was Kirby versus Skubal in Seattle, and Kirby pitches really well. He gets pulled fairly early because elimination game and they wanted to play matchups. He gave up a double to Javier Baez, so they pulled him, and obviously they pull Kirby so they can get the left-left matchup for Kerry Carpenter. Carpenter has the home run anyways, but regardless, George Kirby was really good in that start. He didn't give up a single run. Baez hits a double off of him, and they pull him with the runner on second base again with the Carpenter home run. That run gets charged on to George Kirby. But Kirby pitched phenomenally in Game 5 against the Tigers. And I get it, Detroit lineup's not good. Kirby pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, and, had 1 earned run, but he, wasn't the one giving up that run to Baez. Yes, he put him there, but again, Carpenter drove him in. They let George Kirby only throw 66 pitches through 5 innings. Again, Dan Wilson just wanted to play the matchup. Okay, but again, Kirby's really good, and he pitches even better in Seattle. I had my doubts about Kirby throughout points of this season. He's been good so far in the postseason. I have no concerns about him right now. I think Kirby is going to be just fine. Look at the 2 games he pitches against the Tigers, 5 innings in both of those. Obviously, threw a lot more pitches in Game 1 than he did in Game number 5. He threw 94 in Game number 1 and only 66 in Game number 5. But Game 1 against the Tigers, 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs. Second outing against Detroit in Game 5, elimination game, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. I'm okay with this. I really am. And look at the way Toronto's hitting right now. That's got to be by far the most disappointing thing so far for in the series for them. Like, yeah, okay, your pitching hasn't been where you wanted it to be, at least with Trey Savage. And, Game 1, you hit the Springer leadoff home run, but that's it. You go 6 innings of 2-hit and 1-run baseball off of Bryce Miller. No disrespect to Bryce Miller, but we talk about this loaded rotation. Oh, they've got Kirby, they've got Gilbert, they've got Castillo, Brian Wu might be coming back. And you get shut down by Bryce Miller, the guy that I was looking at that series and saying, okay, well, Seattle will be jumping for joy. This will be a celebration up in the Pacific Northwest if they can just get 1 over in Toronto. No, they got both because Bryce Miller was able to get them up ahead in that series with a Game number 1 win. And your lineup scores 1 run. Okay, score 1 run. And then you look at game 2, you score 3 runs. Seattle hits the 3-run bomb in the first inning with Julio Rodriguez. Nathan Lucas has the RBI, technically RBI single. It was an error because Josh Naylor tried to get tricky with the throw to first. Regardless, it scores. George Springer, then Alejandro Kirk brings in Lucas. Lucas then again has a massive 2-out base knock in the second inning to tie it up at 3-3, and then you don't score again for the rest of the game. I mean, guys, Toronto in game 1, they score with the first batter of the game. Does that sound familiar? Milwaukee yesterday. More on that later. And in game 2, they score 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second, and they are done. I can't rely on this team to score. I can't do it. Under 7, I think this is fine. Yes, a winning ticket's going to be 6 runs tonight. That's okay. It's okay. I think, again, I believe Shane Bieber is going to get into trouble. I think the Mariners are going to put guys on. I think, very good chance we see a solo home run hit early, right? And I wanted to go Nerfy, but I was like, I don't know. I feel like Raleigh could potentially go yard, or Rosarena could go yard. How Polanco's just owned the postseason so far. I could definitely see that. So I'm going to stay away from the Nerfy because I think there's a chance someone goes yard. But I can see an early home run for Seattle. And then, okay, here's the pressure on Shane Bieber in the 4th inning. They got first and second, no outs, 1 out. And then they pull Bieber for a better matchup. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. And then I look at the Toronto lineup. I mean, man, again, sure, would you like Bo Bichette to be healthy 100%, but the lineup just hasn't shown up. And the biggest factor, and I know, again, Vladdy had a tremendous, and I mean tremendous, American League Divisional Series, but Vladimir Guerrero is 0 for 7 so far in this ALCS. Your best hitter cannot be 0 for 7. I know, again, Lucas has had some great at-bats so far in the series. George Springer's 2 for 8 with the home run. Bottom of the lineup, not really producing. I mean, what happened to the Magic, man? I mean, these Blue Jays looked unbeatable in the Yankees series. They did. When the Yankees came to the 6, those were not competitive games. Because the Blue Jays put it on that team. And unfortunately, those Blue Jays have disappeared. They scored 23 runs in 16 innings against the Yankees. They averaged over a run an inning. And then they come back home for the ALCS, and you score 4 runs in 18 innings. So I think the under hits. I like what George Kirby's able to do in this game. I think, honestly, the potential game script of Toronto needing to be very aggressive with their pitching and how they're going to manage their bullpen helps us as well, because it helps us play into matchups. Okay? The second Bieber gets into trouble, he's getting yanked. The second Bieber is dealing with guys in scoring position in a big spot in that game post the first inning, he's done. Because they have to be able to script this right, so at least they have a chance to win this game before, again, we head into Max Scherzer territory. And again, Scherzer's one of the greatest pitchers of all time, but 41-year-old Max Scherzer territory for game number 4. It's the way I see it. And again, Marine layers real. Look at the 2 games in this postseason played in Seattle. 5 runs apiece. I mean, they were all low-scoring games, right? Game 1, 5 runs. Game 2, 5 runs. And then game 5, 5 runs as well. And they went 15 innings and they scored 5 runs. Yeah, again, Marine layers real. I'm going to go the under 7 runs here. 7 would be a push, but 6 and under we cash. Minus 110 for the under 7 runs today from T-Mobile Park. I need some good pitching, but I need Biebers to still get pulled early. So a lot needs to go our way. Money line prediction. Okay, so Blue Jays are really pressing. They absolutely need a victory. Can't have any other outcome other than a win tonight. And yet, that's still not going to be good enough. I came to the conclusion after pretty much game 1 of the ALCS that the Seattle Mariners were going to go to the World Series. I was very back and forth for most of the year. For most of the second half of the MLB season, I had been saying the Seattle Mariners were going to go to the World Series. Now, who I thought was going to come out of the National League didn't go our way. I can tell you right now it's going to be the Dodgers. As soon as the Dodgers beat the Phillies, I was pretty sure that was going to happen. Now, yesterday, I thought the Brewers were going to be able to get 1. They might get swept. No, they might get game 3. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not sold on Glass now, okay? Blake Snell's auto win, I don't know. Yoshi pitched really well. Again, we'll get to that in a little bit as well. I'm going to recap that game 2 of the NLCS. But I've been pretty sure the Mariners are going to go to the World Series, right? I switched it a little bit during that Yankees-Blue Jays series because the Blue Jays, they sold me. They sold me on the fact that, okay, we are dominating the New York Yankees. We are looking great in this. And, okay, I'm going to believe in the bats a little bit. And now, Bichette's coming back. I get it, their pitching's not where the rest of the remaining teams are, but I can really buy into the bats, and I can buy into the home crowd environment this team gets in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Well, again, I watched Game 1. I saw Bryce Miller win Game 1 for the Mariners. Boom. I've been fully back on the Mariners since. And I thought the Blue Jays were going to win Game number 2 because, again, I made the big case. They have to win. They have to. They're going to be pressing for a victory. I mean, you cannot go back to Seattle down 2-0. Well, you know what? That's what they did. And I'm done saying, oh, they have to win this game because they're just not good enough. That's what it comes down to. They're not good enough. They're not good enough to beat the Mariners. The Mariners are the best team in the American League. They have the best team. They have the best pitching staff in the American League. It's better than Toronto's. And where Toronto's ultimately going to lose this series, I think is going to come down to pitching. And I know, I just said the under was going to cash today. It is. But Seattle's going to get 6 really good innings out of George Kirby, and I don't know if Kirby gives up a single run. Shane Bieber at some point in this game, regardless if he goes through the 5 innings or not, again, I think he's going to get pulled before the end of the 5th inning, so I think we're going to cash our best player prop early. But regardless if that happens or not, he's going to implode eventually. I'll be damned if Shane Bieber pitches a gem in game number 3. I'll be so damned if that happens. And look, by the way, who comes out of the Seattle bullpen. Matt Brash, Andres Munoz. Yes, there's other pitchers. Bizardo's pitched really well in this postseason. There's a plethora of guys. Those are your guys, Brash and Munoz. I mean, it is as automatic as you can get. We talked about how earlier in the postseason and throughout the year, how great the Red Sox setup to closing spot was with obviously Garrett Whitlock and then Aroldis Chapman, and that was still elite because of the year Chapman had. But I mean, it is so hard to hit off of Andres Munoz. Remember earlier in the season when Andres Munoz went 2 months without giving up a single run? That's elite. And there's no other way to put that. And I look at this game and I say, okay, we've seen Seattle find ways to get gritty victories in Seattle so far in this postseason. And sure, are the Detroit Tigers a different team than the Toronto Blue Jays? 100%. They play differently. I feel like teams are just going to melt once they go to Seattle and play this team here, this environment. Again, balls stay in the park. Well-hit balls that you think are getting out just die here sometimes. Again, the marine layer is real. And it's hard to beat a team that has the potential of everyone in the lineup to go yard. Now, again, they can all go ice cold at the same time, but Cal Raleigh, when he bats 400 in the postseason, that's a problem. But again, it's a problem when you have Rosarena, Raleigh, Julio, Polanco, who is absolutely killing it right now, Naylor, Eugenio 1 through 6, and it's not like 7 through 9 are, bums either. Canzone, Robles, JP Crawford, I mean, they can manage for themselves. Again, how about Leo Rivas in Game 5 of the ALDS, who essentially extends the game for the Mariners in a pinch-hitting opportunity, right? I mean, they have guys that are willing to step up to the plate, and the absolute beatdown they put on the Toronto Blue Jays in Game number 2 is outstanding. I mean, a 10-3 victory. Toronto comes back, they tie it in the second. It's 3-3. You're thinking, okay, momentum's probably going back in the favor of the Blue Jays. They're at home. They're probably going to tie this series. Nope. 5th inning, Jorge Polanco 3-run bomb, scores a Rosarena and Cal Raleigh. And they just keep on adding on. Josh Naylor hits the 2-run shot in the 7th inning, and you blink, and now it's a 10-3 lead for the Seattle Mariners, and the game is over, and they are the ones heading back home to try to close this thing out. I mean, again, I for as much as I want to say Blue Jays have to win, look at the spot they have dug themselves into, right? Must-win game. Game 2 is must-win, and they didn't win. Game 3, yes, this is must-win too. Not because it's more than just you're going down 3-0. I mean, you're throwing a 5 ERA pitcher who is going to be a Hall of Famer, is an all-time great, but he's just 41. You're throwing him in Game 4 against Luis Castillo, who, again, he's no Cy Young, but he's good. I mean, you put yourselves in a huge hole if you lose this game. But I'm sick of saying, oh, Toronto has to win. Toronto, this is a must-win for the Blue Jays, so I have to pick them. No, I'm done doing it. I'm done doing it. I'm taking the Seattle Mariners. Taking the Mariners at home, minus 135. I think they're going to get excellent pitching out of George Kirby. I think the Mariners' ability to hit home runs and solo home runs is going to be absolutely huge. Again, they say solo home runs don't kill you. Well, when you play the Seattle Mariners, they do. It's the simplest way I can put it. George Springer, Nathan Lucas, Vladdy Guerrero. Again, Guerrero's 0 for 7 in the ALCS after, proclaiming himself the king of New York against the Yankees lose. I mean, he has not gotten a hit yet since him and Big Papi did the Yankees lose on Fox. I'm going Mariners money line. I think they get it done. I'm going to go Seattle minus 135 in game number 3. We will see you tomorrow night for game 4. Now, before I end the video, real quickly, we will talk about the Dodgers and the Brewers. Yeah, the Brewers are in trouble. They're in massive trouble. And eventually, guys, spending all of that money and just having the most loaded and talented team in the postseason, eventually that's going to come back. I mean, it's just, it felt like maybe, I don't know, the Dodgers just didn't care in the regular season. They knew they were eventually going to be in this spot. They won the World Series last year, and you still add talent after winning a World Series. I absolutely hate it, man. I despise that team. I hope the Brewers come back. I don't think they're going to. It's crazy when you have all this talent. Like, obviously you're going to keep winning. I thought the only team that could get them was going to be the Phillies. Maybe the Mariners can. I don't think so. I think the Dodgers are going to win again, and this is why baseball is going to go into a lockout in 2027. So enjoy the 2026 season while you can, because there's going to be a lockout in 27 if the Dodgers win 3 in a row. I mean, guys, Ohtani was 0 for his last 20, and this team still kept winning games. And Ohtani finally gets a hit yesterday. Ooh, wow, he had a single in the right field. Ooh, RBI single. Ooh, and the game was already 4-1. Awesome. Cool, dude. But for Milwaukee, I mean, game couldn't have started any better. Churio hits a solo home run. I'm thinking, okay, here we go, right? Yamamoto struggled after Schwarber homered off of him in game 3 of the NLDS. I'm thinking, okay, Churio lead off. There we go. Lead off home run. Nope. You get 2 hits the rest of the game. Churang has a hit in the 3rd, and Sal Frelick had a hit in the 4th. You let Yoshinobu Yamamoto go 9 complete innings against you and give up 1 run to the first batter he saw. My goodness. Of course, the power of friendship and the regular season demons, they finally ended here. I told you a while ago, if you're watching the regular season, nobody was scared of the Brewers in the playoffs. Here we go. I mean, it's unfortunate. The game that they could have won would have been with Peralta. 6-0 against the Dodgers in the regular season. Here we go. Get to the playoffs, and this is what happens. So, I hope the MLB's happy. They got what they wanted. Ohtani's going to be in the World Series every single year, even though he doesn't really help the team that much. He's slightly becoming overrated now. Oh, I get it, 3-time MVP. Yeah, he's a little overrated right now. But, you got what you wanted, MLB. And now when Murakami, the third baseman from Japan, comes over and signs with the Dodgers next year to replace Max Muncy, so you get even better there. Like, okay, you got what you wanted, man. And I hate you, Blake Snell. I do. You're one hell of a talent. You're probably the best pitcher left in the postseason, and you left the Giants, left the Padres for this. Yeah. Thanks, man. Again, Kevin Durant tweet. What's up with all the super teams? We need to start going at these people. Just saying. Anyways, we're probably going to see a Dodgers-Mariners World Series, and I think today, again, is another step towards that. Going to be Seattle money line. They will go up 3-0 against Toronto. I wonder what's going to happen in Game 4. Maybe we get a vintage Mad Max performance, eh? Yeah, maybe. Folks, that'll do it for our MLB Postseason Best Bets here for October 15th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching. Mlb, forever.